Hello everyone, AutoModulate speaking. Today we're reviewing the latest update of my AutoModulate device. Let's get on to it. So for those of you who don't know what AutoModulate is, it's the brother of my automatic random modulation device, autoplay, autogrid, all that kind of devices I've released. But instead of working on audio material or playing notes on the MIDI channel, it's controlling the various knobs and faders that you can find inside Live. So it's working on the modulations. If you using the LFOs, the envelope followers, all that kind of stuff, you know that from one Max device you are able to control some knobs and parameters wherever in the project. So I wanted to provide a device which allows you to send some random step modulations to these knobs. The previous versions were focusing on the same kind of step sequencing that I do have on autoplay and autogrid, and I've added lately some oscillator features, so using a regular oscillator to control a modulation, not to hear sound but to have some moving and a bit more regular modulation than the random step sequencer that was already present. So the device is spread in three parts. The part to the left is the step sequencer engine. In the middle you have the oscillator, and to the right you have the mapping controls, so that you can partly hide. So here we have the device, which so we have a Cnefonium, which is a vintage analog sounding synthesizer. We have an autoplay which is sending some notes, and we have a basic progression that we're using to drive the whole thing. And then AutoModulate is controlling firstly an auto filter. We have the cutoff and the drive from a bandpass. We have the flanger here, feedback, which is all controlled as well. And finally we have the send, the send value to the B device, which has an Andy Cowboy playing. So the step sequencer modulation is pretty simple. It's pretty classic to my devices. The step probability controls how often, how dense the modulation will occur. We have minimum and random added gate value, so how long the modulation will last for. We have the step engine that allows you to control the length of notes and their probability. It can be slowed down very slowly if needed. Then we have the amplitude control for the step sequencer, so how important the modulation is with a random value as well. And we have an attack of decay on this modulation that you can set in milliseconds or note division. So for now, let's say I'm gonna put that to 1/16. And we have a global offset. I mean, if you follow to the right, this is the output modulation which is actually sent, and you see the knobs moving here. So if I change the offset, I'll change the starting point from the for any kind of modulation. So there we go. All right, back to 0. I'll change that. Secondly, we have this oscillator. They are multimorph. We have 3 different oscillators which sum up in the modulation targets. Each of them can be set to different shapes. We have here a so up, triangle, sine, triangle, and so down. 2 triangles to have something which is morphing smoothly if you want to control this and modulate it. We have pulse width, so square per or pulse. We can as well drop a wave file to this area and use a wave file as a source for modulation. You probably won't hear anything which would be similar to the wave, but it can be an interesting idea to use that as a modulation source. And finally, you can draw your own function. Pretty simple. I mean, it's pretty. If you're familiar with some of the device, I mean, you can do whatever shape you want. So this shape will loop. You can save. These are my additions on the function. So you can save or load a predefined shape in a folder. Each of the 3 oscillators can be set to hertz or note division, and has its own amplitude and phase relative to the main clock, which is running from. All of them, of course, stack up. So let's give it a try. For now, all the oscillators are set to 0 in terms of amplitude. So we will just hear the effect of the step modulator. Now let's add some oscillator. So you may have said that combining an LFO with maybe an envelope follower or that kind of stuff will allow you to do the same kind of stuff that you can have with AutoModulate. But if you see the shape here, I would say it's probably quite a bit cumbersome to do that using a combination of various devices. Because here we have something which is almost in the realm of frequency modulation plus a sine wave, and I could add as well a bit of step sequencing with some random added value. And this is I wanted to have something which is a all-in-one device to control, to do some flexible and controllable as well modulation on any kind of device. So I hope this demonstration is interesting. I thank you for watching it. If you're already on the device, as usual, you just go to your Gumroad library, link in the description, and you can download it. If you're not, please and if you find it interesting, just head to my Gumroad page and grab the device. So again, thank you for your time. If you like my videos and what I do, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're interested into getting a bit more private stuff and maybe some more discounts, you can as well subscribe to my Patreon page, which description is at the bottom as well. And again, thank you for your time and take care.